And we are back, and hopefully back to a successful mission and not one in which it goes horribly.
Oh, come on. You want an exciting mission?
Exciting,
Our
yes.
missions are always successful.
But exciting is where I get to wield my greatsword and, like, do in a lot of stormtroopers, not so much us being done in, so.
Agreed.
All right. So the naval briefing finishes. Pilots collect their data, begin moving to their quarters. They can get into the flight suits and stuff and get ready to take the flight to the Imperials in the skies. Is there anything specific you guys want to do?
I think.
Well, I saw my brother go up and ask to be kind of pulled off the mission, so I kind of asked him how he's doing, what he's thinking.
I'm just grumbling in a bad mood. I feel like I should be doing something of better use, but on the other hand, I got to watch out for her, so I don't want her ending up in a, cloud of space debris in the middle of nowhere, so.
Which will definitely happen if you let the fish person fly the shuttle.
Yeah.
Or the cat.
Yeah.
Or a cat, yeah.
Or me. I can't fly anything.
I looked at Prala, I'm like, are you stocked up on stim packs? Because, yeah, I feel like we're likely going to need them as a solo group of 4.
I didn't actually get any. I forgot about that when I was preparing, but
I have
I had
6.
intended to.
Considering they're sending us on like a pseudo suicide mission, can we ask for some stim packs?
I think so.
Will they
I
give
can
us
probably
some?
They could probably get you some stim packs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can probably point them to where the infirmary is or something.
Stim packs would be nice.
Okay. So-
And we all have comms, right? And like an open comm to the rest of the rebellion ships too, to kind of give status updates.
Yeah, so the jamming signal that's going to be emitted by this frigate also allows you to piggyback like a signal back to that frigate. So like you can give updates to the rest of the rebel fleet as to what's going on, because if you guys are like close to getting out of there, they want to know.
Right.
So that they can start to move back away from the engagement and try and get to a safe distance to go to hyperspace and get out of there. So
Or if we actually need someone to come get us, we have like comms to
Yes.
them. Okay, cool.
yes. However, if that frigate were to be destroyed, the comm channels will probably be jammed from the other direction. So something to keep in mind. Like that ship is how you're getting your comms through to the rebellion. Like that, yeah. So
Cool.
something to keep in mind.
Okay. What do you guys think? Do we have everything? You guys are all armored and gunned up?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty much. I guess I just want to go over the data pads and see if there's anything that we missed.
Not really. The part of the naval briefing addresses the fact that the Shattered Heart will be the responsible party to come get you guys if something goes wrong. And just looking at the readouts of the ship, it's like a very heavily modified Corellian corvette. It's been tricked out essentially, and like all of its trials that it's been put through the Civil War have made it into a formidable piece of technology that is basically unlike any that really is seen in the rebellion. It's actually the second vessel of its type. There was a previous version called the Sundered Heart, and it was seemingly lost, and so they had it rebuilt and recustomized as the Shattered Heart.
Is
So
there
that's-
any? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's the only like particularly interesting thing on there.
Are there any like star charts or anything of the area we're going to?
Yeah, there's a star chart to like get you to the system. Like you get astrogation details, so you don't have to manually set the computer or anything.
I was just gonna see if there's any like kind of natural phenomena we could use for our advantage if we have to.
Not particularly. It's actually one of the reasons why the system was chosen as a shipyard is that it's fairly wide open. There's not a lot of stellar phenomena. It works very well as one of the galaxy's biggest shipyards. So you might be able to get close to some of to the docking ring. Flying close to the docking ring would limit field of fire, but it would also be kind of weird, right? Like for you to come into the system and then just start like skimming the surface or something. But
Right.
in the event of a conflict, it's quite possible that you could use it to shield yourself from oncoming fire for sure. Like
Okay.
if you were being shot at and you were flying. So
All right.
okay.
Are we supposed to do any sabotage while we're down there? Like we do the readouts, but is there anything worth us like sabotaging? Should
We'll
we
have
get?
to figure that out when we're down there.
Yeah, that's
Well, I'm
like
just thinking like, should we take something in order to do that, or I guess we could just like shoot it with our guns.
We can shoot it. We can hack it. We
Okay.
have the tools.
do you have somebody who has good mechanic skill?
I have
I-
4 green.
Ooh, you're a smart fish, man.
Yeah.
I have a yellow green.
I just have 2 green. Don't let me near it.
Okay.
The way I do things is shoot it with my gun.
They will give you 4 demolition charges if you want,
Yeah.
as long as you have somebody who can prove that they know how to use them.
Well,
so
I think our leader, Jen, can probably do it.
I'll take them.
They won't let you have them unless you defuse them.
I mean, I can build them and defuse them, sure. I
well,
suppose.
it's actually a mechanics check to set them. So that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I could demonstrate if they want me to do that.
Well, he actually doesn't. He doesn't say like, okay, so show me how you would set this bomb. But he does make an offhanded remark at you, like an offhand remark that he seemingly expects an answer to. So I've set the difficulty for you if you want to roll mechanics, just to see like if your character would know.
Nice.
Okay.
Well done.
So essentially, he says something and puts a little bit of wrong information in it to kind of bait you into agreeing with him, and you're actually like, well, if you do that, actually, it might explode in your face, and that's generally not a good idea. And he seems to respect your knowledge of mechanics and gives you 4 demolition charges.
Perfect.
As a result, since you seem to know what you're doing, you evade his sly bomb trap, I guess. So you have those demolition charges. You guys can get stim packs. They'll give you 2 stim packs per person.
Oh wow. Nice.
Sweet.
Do you want to keep
Alright.
track of that on your sheet, the Woolly Beast?
Yep.
There's like an inventory part.
Yeah. Got it.
Awesome.
What kind of weapons are you guys packing? Out of
I have a
curiosity.
blaster rifle.
Just a normal blaster rifle?
Yep. That's
I
it.
have a heavy one and a vibra sword.
Actually, it's a blaster carbine, I suppose. But
I have a Zerka VX Vibro Greatsword.
those are words.
As well as a Sorosub OK98 blaster carbine.
An OK blaster
An
carbine.
OK98
It's okay.
blaster carbine.
I mean, it's
One
all
way to
right.
do it.
It's okay for the 96.
Yeah.
I've also got a vibro sword and a repeating blaster.
I've got 4 demolition charges.
True.
Whatever, you were given those.
All else fails, we can just shoot those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
I mean,
needs
not
to
a
set them?
problem.
Set them on the ground, shoot them with your gun, you're good to go.
That's not the way they work.
Hit him with your greatsword. That'll work.
That's why I only have 1 yellow.
Worst case scenario, you just roll them into the room and shoot them. Come on. All right.
Let's
So-
do this.
You guys are outfitted. So over the next 4 hours, everybody basically makes themselves ready to undertake this mission. And like for the rebellion, this is a pretty high risk mission, all things considered. They're putting a lot of their capital ships in danger to do this, as well as a lot of pilots. Like your part of the mission is arguably the least risk part of the mission. Like if a shuttle filled with Spec Force people doesn't come back, well, that sometimes happens to Spec Force agents, right? Like that's an occupational hazard. But the Rebel fleet is the backbone of the armed resistance to the Empire. So putting these vessels in harm's way is extremely risky. But whatever this reactor represents, it appears that High Command wants to see it absolutely before it's decommissioned. So that really points to the importance of this mission on its own. And you note there was a distinct lack of information about what sort of thing the reactor might power. Like they sort of said, we're afraid it will be a ship, but like, you know, there's no details there really. It's just like we're afraid it'll be a ship reactor and it'll be bad for us. So they're very committed to this, and you can see all of those pieces moving as you guys head back to your bunks and get ready to get on the shuttle.
Do we need to head back to our bunks?
I'm assuming you didn't take all your weapons into the briefing with you.
I guess not.
I mean,
I mean,
feel
they're
like,
kind of part of my ensemble, but I guess I left them behind.
I mean, I could see someone taking a sidearm with them, but like being like, I brought my heavy repeating blaster, guys. What's
I
up?
brought
Learn
my
about the
great
mission."
thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. I brought my great
No one
sword.
ever.
So yeah, that would definitely be a bit weird if you brought all your guns and stuff with you to the briefing. So, as you guys are making your way through the ship and you guys are heading back to your bunk, Ramus Antilles actually walks up and stops Hamlin as he's walking through the ship. So just kind of like makes a move to be like, hey, sorry, I don't think we've met. I'm Captain Ramus Antilles.
Hamlin Quinn.
He looks you up and down. He says, I heard you lost your squad recently.
Wow, he brings it up like that? Yeah, so I
Yeah.
heard you lost your squad.
That is how he brings it up. He's a very direct person.
Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I must have been a different Hamlin Quinn then. My apologies.
Where are you here? Where are you getting this information?
I mean, the truth of the matter is that, you know, pilots like to talk a lot. I'm sure you know that. And I don't bring it up because I want to bring it up and injure you in some way. I just want to say, if I were in your position, I'd rather be out there in the void shooting down the enemy, but I just want you to know that I think you have a very important part of this mission to play, and you shouldn't let that bother you.
All right, so I think for a minute, I'll be like, yeah, but all right. I'm not sure how to react to that. Like, where do you get off?
What?
That's how I'd react.
Yeah.
Dude is kind of a dick.
It's like, are you some kind of armchair psychologist or something? You think I need help figuring out how to get back on the horse after a loss?
He gets a bit defensive actually as a result of that, and he's like, listen, I didn't want to offend you. I'm sorry if you took it as like unsolicited advice. I've just seen it before, and I wanted to make sure that you're at 100% for this mission, because myself and all those guys back there are going to be risking their lives to make sure that it happens. But if you don't want to hear what I have to say, that's fine.
I'll stick my hand out and shake his hand if he
He's
wishes to say.
currently leaving, unless you want to stop.
Yeah, I'll say thank you for your concern. It's appreciated.
Further endearing yourself to the rest of the group, I see.
Yeah.
All right.
I walk up to Hamlin and be like, you want me to teach him a lesson?
We're like, no, I think we're gonna need our hands for this mission. He's like, but when we get back, once we get back,
You know what? We'll break out
Actually-
the Sabak deck and we'll just strip him of his money. That'll show him.
Yeah.
I could use a new polish for my weapon anyway. Noted. It's on my calendar. It's on the books.
You're gonna aggressively polish your greatsword near him.
Yes.
All right. So he walks away. You don't get the sense that he's like angry or like embarrassed, more that he's just sort of like he kind of tried to open himself up to you, and you kind of shut it back in his face, and he feels a bit vulnerable maybe as a result. So he's just trying to get out of there. A couple people like kind of walk over to him as he's leaving, because he's leaving in sort of a hurry. and sort of like start talking to him and asking, hey, what's going on? But he kind of brushes them off and just heads to the bay where his ship is docked to this ship, because it's a very large ship. Like, it's a Corellian Corvette, like the one you see at the very beginning of episode 4, but it's kind of modified. It has like some weird like veins on it and stuff. So it doesn't like dock inside this thing. It's like adjacent to it, essentially. So he's heading to his ship. He kind of gives Jen a cursory glance before stomping off, because you tried to make things right, but he doesn't really have time for it anymore. So
I give him the sup nod.
so all right.
Yeah, I'm just kind of so frustrated with this whole situation. I just kind of storm off myself.
Okay.
You know how they say don't drive angry? I'm a little worried about the don't fly into a dangerous situation angry kind of thing, but anyway.
I think I'll feel better once I get into the shuttle, start doing some system checks, make sure everything looks good.
So the shuttle is waiting for you. The shuttle is its transponder designation is Cerberus, and it is in pretty good condition. There are a couple areas near the bottom fins where you definitely see that laser blasts have been scrubbed off. Certainly, however, the shuttle was acquired, it wasn't through like a lend-lease program. So it was taken by force, and it's been cleaned up, and it looks like it's in pretty good condition. You also just take a quick, as you're doing like systems checks and whatnot, the transponder looks like it actually is the original one, and it is intact. It hasn't been like tampered with. So you're pretty sure this should get you past any initial starfighter patrols or like picket ships or anything to get to the station, assuming you don't start doing barrel rolls or something. You should be okay. All the weaponry is operational. It appears to be basically stock, like there's no engine modifications or anything. It's one of the many Lambda class shuttles that services the Empire. So it's a bit musty inside. Like maybe it transported like a bunch of Wookiees or something at some point, and nobody's really been able to get the smell out of the seats. I don't know. It's a bit musty. So you guys are like, I don't know how you guys approach this. It sounds like Hamlin wants to get into the shuttle and get flight checking and just get his mind off of other things that just happened. But as you guys are there, you actually see there are starfighter crews in the same bay as you guys. And they're just like getting into X-Wings, doing pre-flight stuff, and basically just minding their own business. Everybody's a little bit tense, but there's also a palpable sense of excitement because Kuat is like one of the jewels of the Empire. So damaging that is potentially very important for the rebellion. Even if they don't get a ton accomplished, it's kind of like a, hey, we can get into your house and set a couple things on fire and get out. And the idea of doing that.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm all hyped and adrenaline pumping, and let's do this.
Got my good luck charms all set up on the dash.
Ooh, what are
Mount up if you want, if you're done with
Yeah.
collecting your explosives.
The astrogation all done for us, or do we need someone to do that?
Yeah. So you actually have the data that can just be fed directly into the computer. The way that it's being timed, the fleet is going to show up shortly after you arrive. So about 6 seconds after you guys get in system, the fleet is going to drop out of hyperspace and start shooting everything.
Cool. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm all hyped and adrenaline pumping, and let's do this.
Got my good luck charms all set up on the dash.
Ooh, what are they?
I knew you were gonna ask that. I have a metal case.
A what, sorry?
I like the Sabak deck idea. That's all.
Nice.
Those are actual cards, right?
They are,
Yeah.
but they actually, the way that Sabak works, they actually change values during the game. Like they're all hollow cards.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a metal case on a chain, and I'll hang that up.
Nice.
Lean back.
Nice.
It's appropriate since we're kind of gambling with our lives, so.
You hang the Sabak deck over the rear view mirror of the shuttle.
Exactly.
All right.
Awesome. I love it. Sick.
So yep, the shuttle's in good condition, and you guys are given the all clear from docking to just get moving and get out there. And the rest of the fleet basically is ready on standby so that as soon as you guys jump to light speed, they can calculate their jump so that they arrive about 6 seconds after you. Do you have any parting words before you head to hyperspace?
I think so.
Well, here goes nothing.
All right.
Maybe.
You instill confidence in us. Thank you.
Yeah.
He excels at that.
Yeah.
So here goes nothing, and you guys jump to hyperspace. The lines of stars blurring into streaks as you enter the blue-white tunnel of hyperspace. And after you drop out of hyperspace, and you guys have actually positioned the fleet fairly close so that it's not too much of an issue. You drop out of hyperspace, and immediately the co-op boarding control begins like hailing you immediately. There's almost no delay at all. Like you guys drop out of hyperspace, and there's immediately a polite voice that says, "Shuttle Cerberus, what is your cargo and destination?"
Can I get on comms? Am I the best at lying? I'm pretty sure I am.
You're always the best. No matter what game we play, you're always the best.
I like lying. Lying is good. I'm yellow, green, green. What you guys got?
Nothing that good.
Nothing.
Nothing that
Yeah.
good.
Green.
Okay.
Too
So
green, that's
what did
it.
he say again? Sorry, so I know.
He said, "Shuttle Cerberus, what is your cargo and destination?"
I'm actually just going to make it sound like I'm trying to talk, but it's static and it's not going through.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Have you discussed this at all with us, or are you just doing it?
I'm just doing it.
Okay.
Alright.
That was what we talked about before, remember? Where we were like, we wanted to make it look like it wasn't working.
Okay. So give me a deception check, I guess. 1 sec. Give me.
You're going through a tunnel.
Give yourself a boost die.
Cool. You have the difficulty set?
You need to roll down the window and stick the antenna out.
Yeah, you're good.
Whoa.
Can I assist? I guess I need to say that afterwards, don't I? Or before, rather.
You would have to say it before.
That's a lot of advantage.
So, okay.
How about they don't believe that it's broken, but they believe it enough that it's not like overly suspicious.
What happens is they're like, oh, like you actually hear him like speaking to somebody else in the room,
Yeah.
and he's like, what's with these Yahoo shuttle crews always trying to pull jokes? This is insane. We in another situation I would have just shot this person down. And as you say that, as he says that, the rebel fleet drops out into real
Okay.
space behind you. And there's basically total chaos. Weapons emplacements everywhere begin firing volleys of turbo lasers at the battle group. The only ship in the area that can respond to this is an old Gladiator class Star Destroyer, which is a very, very old kind of Star Destroyer that was almost completely phased out of use by this point. I'll put the link in the chat because it's sweet. I like Star Destroyer models because I like capital ships. So this old Star Destroyer is immediately enveloped by turbo laser fire.
Well, that one's cool. It's like a hybrid between the Millennium Falcon and the Star Destroyer.
It has kind of like the U shape going on.
Yeah, it's cool.
So the fleet immediately overwhelms the defenses of the Star Destroyer. It begins pulling away from the conflict because it realizes there's no way it can stand against this group. Over the Imperial frequencies, you hear numerous station commanders and Kuat drive yards command centers that all begin broadcasting the same hyperwave message. Emergency code 0, request immediate assistance. So this is evidently the distress call that will bring more ships to the area. At that point,
The fleet is jamming that, right? That was part of their plan.
no, the fleet can't jam everything in the system. They can only jam the traffic coming out of the research station.
Do we have the technology on this ship to try and jam that?
Yeah.
You could certainly jam if you knew the specific location that it was coming from, and there's only one of them, and you were a master of technology, then definitely. But
In the second part.
every vessel in this system that is active, and every command center of every research station and docking facility in this system is all broadcasting the same
So you're
thing
saying there's a
constantly.
chance?
There's no chance. There's only one, then maybe, but there's too many people that immediately just start broadcasting emergency help requests to
Do
the
either of you two Imperials know like where this might be coming from?
No.
It seems like it's going to be coming from multiple places where there's probably.
Yeah, like the Star Destroyer is broadcasting it. The research station is trying to broadcast it and is being jammed.
Can we just try and jam the Star Destroyer then? Is that?
Yeah, you could, but like the entire docking ring facing you is also like every command center along the docking ring is also broadcasting it. Like there's just yeah, there's just too much essentially. So it seems like it has gone out. There was no real way to prevent that. Like that was never part of the rebellion's plan. They assumed eventually it would happen, but now you guys actually can't receive comms from the station because the station is being jammed.
Oh.
Mhm.
I see.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
We in?
Go for a smooth
All right, I'll take
landing
us
there,
in.
Hamlin.
Do I have visual on the closest place to go to?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. There's a docking bay. So now that you guys can actually see the station, it's kind of like like a hexagonal center area
Mhm.
with 3 arms coming off of it. At the end of each of the arms is like a bay that can hold ships. And so those 3 arms go into a center area. This is a pretty standard Imperial docking platform pattern, but this specific one is very different because the center hexagonal section has like swollen to this huge size. Like it's been custom made to contain whatever sort of research experiment is happening inside this facility. So it is way bigger than it would normally be. Like very large.
Can I take like compare the diagrams that we were given in the briefing to what we see now and just like start updating them?
Yeah, for sure you can do that. No problem.
I think I'm gonna head to where the ramp is gonna drop and be like ready to drop it and start defending it, kind of thing.
And you guys are all wearing Imperial uniforms, right? Like
Yeah.
over your armor or whatever? Okay.
Yep.
I'll try and like basically when we drop the ramp, I'm gonna try and be like an Imperial, but then I'll.
Hey, nothing to see here.
Yeah. No. Routine. Did you see what's going up in like up there? We should like
Wow, we only
totally
just
stop that.
Yeah, can I try to come in, pilot the ship in, and look in a way that looks like I'm doing evasive maneuvers to avoid the rebellion?
Yes, I could definitely
I
allow
like
that. That's a
it.
great idea. That's a great
I
idea.
like it.
Yeah, I knew you'd be useful.
There you go.
Oh, you.
So the only thing before you roll it, how real do you want this to look? Because a really panicked pilot might try and put the shuttle down at like high speed. And if you want to do that, it will give you a bigger bonus. Like essentially what I'm thinking is if you succeed, it will give boost dice to people trying to make like, you know, like, hey guys, we just showed up here and bad things happened. Please don't shoot us on sight. So
Let's do it. I can pull it off.
do you want the harder check or the easier check? You'll just get a bigger payoff if you take the harder check and try and land the shuttle at high speed.
I'll get on the comm and warn everybody to brace themselves. I'm gonna do the hard check.
All right.
I sit
Set
into
up.
my like flight attendant seat
Oh.
and.
You know what? Actually, before you roll, I actually have to roll the destiny pool.
Ooh, the destiny pool.
So let me roll that.
What is our destiny?
Not bad. Not bad.
I'm updating pools. There we go. Okay. So let me do that, and your check is ready to go.
So should I use a destiny point?
I think this is pretty destiny-ish for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we want to
I mean, if we crash, we all die, and we just go to like.
Especially because you were like, "Oh, I'm totally not needed," but I feel like this is
Yeah.
a pretty like cool maneuver for you to feel important.
I'm also using one, so
Aw, way to ruin it.
I want the triumph. I want the despair on this.
Aw.
I want the despair to potentially happen. So.
Okay.
Snap.
Okay. But 2 threat. Okay.
Sick.
So you stick the landing, and the shuttle takes the worst of it. It lands successfully, but it actually skids into. There's 2 other vehicles in the docking bay. Actually, it's pretty empty, and you skid into an assault transport. And the ship takes 2 system strain.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's like no big deal. Like the shields take the worst of it essentially. That's
Do
why
I have the threshold of those?
Oh, I don't have the stats for you here. I'll send.
Okay.
I'll put that in our channel in a sec.
Okay.
I got to be real. I did not expect people to use the shuttle in dangerous ways, but I guess I should have assumed with this crew that it's a possibility that. So yeah, I'll actually get that for you at the break.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just keep track of the two.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear fireworks in my mic, but if you do, I apologize.
Yeah, it's fireworks. It's not anything else.
Yes.
I assure you.
For fellow Canadians, it is a long
Bonus
weekend.
sound
So.
effects.
Actually, is it a long weekend in the States as well?
Not that I know of.
No.
No, I wish.
Okay.
Well,
Well, for our fellow Canadians, we did our fireworks last night, but our neighbors have some going on. So.
Sorry to get all you southern neighbors excited that maybe it was a long weekend, because it is not apparently. So, and we're celebrating about the least American thing. We're celebrating being a part of the British Commonwealth. So,
Oh, is that what we're
yeah.
celebrating? I honestly didn't
Well,
even
it's Victoria
know.
Day. It's Victoria Day.
I knew it was Victoria Day,
yeah.
but
Yeah, so
to me, it's
Yeah,
just.
she's great.
I call it May 24. Like I don't.
that's what most people.
Yeah.
8-2-4-A. Anyways, so you put the shuttle down. It kind of skids a little bit into the salt transport. The shields really take the worst of it. I have the stat block for you in our Slack channel if you want.
Okay.
For the shuttle. So there is one other vessel in here. It is a skip ray blast boat, which is kind of like a small. It's like a heavy starfighter, basically. I will put that in the chat so people can see what that looks like. So it's basically kind of like a small.
Oh, cool.
Gunship. It is actually a 4-person vessel. So
How convenient.
it has a pilot, a co-pilot / sensor operator, and then 2 gunnery officers. However, you can fly it with just 1 person. Like you don't need 4 people to fly it. It's just kind of like more effective to fly it with more people. So that is the other thing sitting in the docking bay. They're often used for system patrol duties, like basically if you need to intercept a freighter, this would actually be a pretty good thing to do it with, because they're heavily armed and they're pretty well armored too. They're one of the few craft that is like a fighter size craft that the Empire uses that actually has a hyperdrive in it also. Like a TIE fighter can't. It needs like a Star Destroyer to move from system to system. This thing can go to hyperspace wherever it wants. So it's a pretty nice craft, but it's currently sitting unused as you land the shuttle. And what are you guys doing when you're disembarking from the shuttle?
So can I want to kind of take the lead for the group.
Okay.
And be like, can you do I see people first of all, like when I get off?
Yeah, there is a group of, there's what appears to be a naval like a naval troop commander, as well as 8 Navy troops that are approaching your shuttle.
They're approaching? Okay.
Yes, they are approaching it, and they have guns.
Cool. I just want to kind of like get out and start looking at the ship as though maybe we got hit by like a stray rebellion kind of bolt or something, and kind of wave them over, being like, can you believe what's happening? We barely made our landing.
I'll assist you with that.
I'm trying to
We're
get
deceiving.
them. Trying to get them off guard.
Okay. Roll deception, I guess. Let me change it. Wait, let me see the naval commanders. What's his dealio? Cool? Cool? No cool.
Do I get the boost
So-
die because of the convincing landing?
You get 2 boost dice because of the awesome landing.
Sick. Okay.
And difficulty.
Can I assist for anything else?
Unneeded.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's check first next time because that was kind of our fault because we shut you out. So my bad on
Yeah.
that. But they're like, hey, get over here. Like, you think you think like we got hit? And the commander sends one of the groups of 4 forward to just check you guys out. And they're like, what is your cargo? And do you have a code clearance to land here?
So they like come right up to us, right?
Yep.
Did anyone else like leave the ship? I was kind of thinking maybe the range people could stay behind inside the ship to use it as cover or something. Or do you
Yeah, I'll
guys all come right
definitely
in?
try to get everything kind of shut down and make it look like we have some system problems.
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna be like, our cargo is just general rations and uniforms and standard supplies that are needed. We didn't expect there to be any sort of attack happening today, and our shuttle is obviously not meant to deal with this kind of combat. So we had a bit of a rush landing, and I think we had a couple mechanical problems as a result of that landing. Our pilot's just kind of checking it out.
Well, listen, as soon as we get your codes, we can send a maintenance team in here, and they can absolutely get your ship fixed up. Actually, our delivery of rations, we just got a delivery yesterday. It's kind of weird that we've had more rations being sent.
Yeah, well, as far as our
And at that point in the background, I'm still on the ship, kind of waiting, and I'm kind of got my weapon, my blaster rifle, in an easily ready position, just in case.
We have these codes.
what do codes normally look like? Like, do they come on like a data pad, or like how would
We
you?
have them, right?
You have the codes to land, but you don't have like identification or data cylinders.
Can I go like run on the ship and say I'll go get them and then fake them as I go on my like?
Yeah, like are they on a data pad normally? Like what?
Normally, you would have a code cylinder that you carry on your person that like ratifies your credentials. So the shuttle was obviously an Imperial shuttle, so it would be able to land at something like this, but none of your ID checks out, essentially.
Is it?
Sorry,
Do you
go
guys want me to try to do some kind of jamming so that we can take them out without them being able to get any communication out?
I want to try and fake
Or do we want to try to
fake
fake
a
it?
code before.
Okay, so I'll stand by
Yeah.
for that.
Maybe
Okay.
like if we have some cylinders, can we like pour some water on it and be like, because of the rocky landing, they shorted out, they got a little bit wet. Spilled some
What's up
water.
with this? What's up with this guy putting his glass of water on the dashboard when we're flying?
I didn't expect to have an emergency landing, okay? Jeez.
We've been pulling an all-nighter, and I had our Star
Yeah.
Wars monster drink to stay awake on the dash.
Right. Yeah, you can try and like create a code, but like you'll have to like jury rig something pretty fast, and your party has to keep them busy, and it's gonna take a little bit of time to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do it.
I'll try it if people can buy me time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, so we had to bring some additional rations because and I'm gonna just be like, typical Imperial name that I would know, like, I don't know, what's a typical English human name?
John
Adam.
Smith.
Adam. I'm going with Adam.
Star Wars names are really weird. So
yeah, well, whatever. I like based on my knowledge of having been in the Imperials for a couple of years, I'm gonna pick a name and be like, yeah, we had to send some additional rations. Commander Allen or whatever. He overindulges a little bit too much. I know it gets boring out here, but you should really do maybe some combat training exercises instead of just stuffing your face all the time. But that's why we had to bring some extras. I guess the inventory was shrinking a little bit because of some extracurricular midnight snacks.
okay.
And I just keep talking
Nice.
like that.
Nailed.
Okay, roll it again.
Is it still 2 boost die?
Yep.
Cool. Oh,
Oh.
rip.
Well, you didn't get it?
I got 3
Oh,
advantage.
you got advantage. He's like, okay. Like the trooper that is near you is like, okay, well, I mean, the reality is you guys can unload your cargo and like if you guys want, you can hit the refresh over there. But like we're under a red protocol right now, so we can't let any of you onto the station.
Is the refresher in the station? Like where he points?
There's like one adjacent to the dock that doesn't let you get into the station.
Would there be a way to like break into something to get into the station from that?
They're blocking the entrance into the station from the stocking bay.
Okay.
So he actually said something. He said we're under protocol red right now. So
Mhm.
all of you ex-Imperials can roll warfare if you want.
Cool.
Actually, everybody can roll warfare. It's just if you're an ex-Imperial, I'll give you a boost die.
Oh, okay.
Boost die it is.
The difficulty set.
Yes. No, it's not.
Oh.
Sorry.
So
I just-
trigger happy.
Yeah. Yes. Now it's good.
Rip. Wow. Wow.
Oh my god.
Those rolls just keep
Okay.
getting better.
All right
Oh
then.
wow.
Oh,
So
you guys forgot to roll your boost die, right? or am I wrong?
Yeah, you and I
Oh, yeah.
did.
Oh, the
Prala
X
didn't.
XM. Okay, yeah, the X Imperials.
Prala would get a
Yeah.
boost die, right? Because you were also ex-Imperial.
How would I deal
Here,
with
I'll
that?
just. I don't remember.
I
Up at the
think
top where it says dice pool, you can always increase the number of a certain color.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the command to actually just roll single dice, and I haven't done
You could
it.
just use. You could do it with the dice pool, right?
Oh yeah, let me just do it. I'll just do it.
Okay.
I'll just roll it for you. It's a success, so you
Oh.
succeed.
Oh,
Yay.
nice. So the triumph stays too then.
Okay, so Protocol Red is a lockdown status reserved for facilities that are currently being visited by the Emperor or emissaries of the Emperor.
Wait, what?
Mm.
That's what this
Oh.
station status is?
Oh, so
Yeah.
it wasn't the attack that is the red protocol. It's the something else.
That's
Whoa.
correct. So you don't know if it's actually the Emperor or just one of his emissaries that's here, but the security is
Do I sense
very
a
high.
disturbance in the force?
You are not force sensitive, so you detect nothing.
Damn it!
That's crazy. I'm a little bit afraid to go in now, but
Also,
anyways.
arguably, this is the force user who is the best at hiding the fact that he is a force user in recent history. So I don't.
but so am I.
You're talking about.
You don't even know I'm force sensitive.
You're talking about Jar Jar.
No, I'm not. You're so good at hiding the fact that you're a force user that even you don't know. You don't even know.
Jeez.
Can I try and fake the landing codes while I'm on the ship? Because
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
planning to.
Absolutely. You can roll computers. So I want to ask you though,
Yeah.
what kind of clearance are you trying to fake? Like, are you trying to be like we're high priority VIPs?
Or sanitation duty.
Or are you trying to be like we're maintenance dudes? Like, what's your?
People who like essential enough that we should be able to land, I suppose.
And go inside the building. Go
They're
inside the
allowing.
Code red.
They're allowing you to land, but they're not allowing you inside the building.
Would any like
We want to get inside, so just enough to get
something that would
inside.
allow us to get inside, I suppose.
So, just from what you know about Protocol Red, that would mean that you would need to be either also emissaries of the Emperor. You need to be Darth Vader.
All right. There we go.
You would need to be very high-ranking Imperial political officials, like a Grand Moff, certain Moffs, or like the head of the ISB. So like we're talking like really high political.
What if we instead of
Yeah, I
trying
can
to
do
break
that.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
what are you making? What are you making these ID for? Like, are you saying that like your boffin is a Grand Moff, which I really hope not? Like,
I really
no,
hope so.
I was gonna say I was a Grand Moff.
Of course you were.
a Mon Calamari Grand Moff. Okay, I'll allow this, but I have to set the difficulty pretty high.
I mean, we have Destiny Pool, right?
As he's doing this, Can I start luring them to the other side of the ship, out of line of sight of the other group?
Yeah, how would you do that?
Just saying like, oh yeah, when we landed, we could send like our sensors told us there was something wrong on this side of the ship. Can you just come around and help me take a look at it?
They're like, well, we'll send a maintenance crew as soon as they're available. I'm not a mechanic, so I
Yeah,
have no
but I
time
just,
to do that.
my Bothan eyes, they don't see very well, and everyone else is busy on the ship,
Yeah.
and I really need some human eyes to take a look, just to let me
What-
know if they see what the issue is.
Yeah, one of them snickers at you when you say my Bothan eyes. One of them snickers, and another one mutters something about how aliens are inferior to humans.
Yeah,
Under-
see, I'm playing to their racism, so boost die to get them on the other side of the ship.
I just am smart enough to be able to
Here,
do.
before we do that, let's roll this computer's check.
Yeah.
How many destiny die can I use?
One.
I clicked twice accidentally.
There we go. Balance has returned to the force.
Perfect. What are we doing? Computers. All right, here we go.
Oh.
Rip. That was a lot of black tiles.
The Desperias, you are 100% positive this is a bulletproof disguise, and when you hand that code cylinder over to them, like you're positive this
Okay.
is really.
I go and I walk off the ship and hand it to them.
So you're like, sorry, here's a code cylinder.
Well, as I'm on the ship, I say to the guys on the ship, I faked this code cylinder. It should be good.
Awesome.
Cool.
Good job.
Well, you're not on the ship.
That's
right?
true. I'm not on the ship.
Well, we have voice comms though, right?
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't really be responding to you as I'm luring
No,
them.
but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go and hand it to them.
Okay, so you walk up to the naval troopers that are out, like
Yeah, the guy who wants it.
it looks like perhaps they might be like Chloe might be convincing them to go around like she's about to, and you're like, no, don't worry about that. Here's our ID. Sorry about that or whatever. And the trooper hands it to one of the other guys who runs it back to the commander, and then he moves back to his squad. The commander scans it once, looks you in the eyes, and says, "Kill them all."
I'm gonna jam. I'm gonna pump up the jam.
We tried. And initiative.
Good.
Yeah. Do you want to just take the break now, since we're like 5 minutes away from a break?
I mean, I don't know what I was expecting would happen.
Yeah, you're totally a Grand
We were
Moff.
gonna
Great
kill
plan.
them anyway. Like, what else was gonna happen?
Great plan. Good job.
If that had worked, we would have Grand Moffed our way into it and just said,
Grand Moffed our way. I love how that's
Yeah,
a
I
verb
mean,
now.
yeah, it's a verb. We said, "What's up to the Emperor?" Disabled the, Death Star and walked off. It
What's up,
would have been fine.
Palpatine? We're totally supposed to be here.
Yeah,
Don't you remember me?
Grand Moff Robofish. I don't know.
You're from a very obscure sector of space. Like not many people have
Yeah,
heard of
it's
you.
the smaller part of the Empire.
All right.
Okay, awesome.
Kill
Well, we
them all.
will start combat then after this quick break. We'll be right back, guys.
Whew.